Hello YouTube. It has been just entirely way too long since I've sat down and made a video for this channel. And today we're going to talk about the reasons why that is. To give you some context, I need to go back. My wife Anna and I started Leave the Map as just a place for us to share our weekend travels while we were living in Los Angeles. It's what got us interested in traveling in the first place, and it opened our minds to just what was outside the city limits. We just could not get enough of sharing our experience with a very small audience at the time on just weekend trips away. That community started to build on itself a little bit, and we realized that, okay, this is a cool way for us to share those experiences with other people, to hopefully inspire other couples to do the same, and just anyone who had that wanderlust that we had to get out and explore. Those weekends became sacred to us as we were working full-time jobs. They really became the motivation for getting to Friday at the end of the week and never wanting that weekend to end. Fast forward a few years later of living in Los Angeles, we really wanted to do more than just spend those weekends traveling. We wanted to build that identity and make that our life. We didn't feel satisfied enough with a 3-day adventure somewhere. We wanted it to be an everyday adventure. At the same time, I was working professionally as a video producer. I was taking freelance gigs on the side to try to build my portfolio, and I was using my skills as a working professional and wanted to find some way to bring that into our travel business. And I created this YouTube account, and the intention with this channel was always to be travel focused first. When we decided to leave Los Angeles and pack up all our things, we made a huge, drastic life decision. I left my corporate job, I left clients behind, and we bought a camper van and built out that camper van. We shared that process in that video on here, and the channel then kind of morphed itself into bringing that camera to the places that we were going to travel in the van. And for a few years, that's exactly what we did. I tried my best to get content on this channel and feel inspired with my camera wherever we went. We took our van across the country, from the Northeast to the West Coast, back and forth so many times. I never want to drive Route 80 again, but we saw some of the most beautiful places in the US. And most of it had my camera along for the ride and for the journey.
Striking behind us. We're driving down.
During that time, we were dealing with some pretty heavy family grief and were being pulled in a lot of different directions. That was sort of the first step in me putting the camera down and not bringing it to as many places as I used to. Those trips became more sacred and ways to escape. And even though I was always inspired to bring my camera on a lot of these trips, I often felt the need to leave it at home or put the camera away because it seemed to be taking away from us being present in the stillness, the moments of new exploration, and again, trying to deal with a tremendous amount of grief in the process. While we still were traveling in the van, it took on a little bit of a different meaning for us. I wasn't finding the same amount of inspiration in the van sitting in our driveway, and 5 years ago we bought this house, and our effort and our energy moved from renovations in the van to renovations in our house. And at the time I was, wanting to be creatively inspired to, okay, like let's do some DIY projects and bring you into that process and show you the renovations that we're doing in the house. But as a travel channel, it just didn't feel like the right way to put content on here. I've done a lot of content in this office and converting my space into a proper, home production studio. And while that's been a very popular video on the channel, it hasn't always felt the most organic to the name and the brand of Leave the Map when I'm stuck here filming these videos inside the office. Over the last 8 months, we've had an even bigger life change, and we have become parents. And as beautiful and as amazing as that journey has been, it has also posed a tremendous number of challenges for both of us and for myself in having not only the time, but the energy and the motivation once again to sit down and record a video, to write out a script, to have creative thoughts that I want to share. They just haven't been there. My mind has been so focused on being a new dad and taking care of my son that everything else has become secondary to the life that we're living. Seeing that the last video I've shared on this channel was almost 2.5 years ago makes me laugh, because it's all on me to get out of my own way and sit down and create a video. I think it's important for the audience that is here and hopefully continues to watch these videos to understand that life gets in the way of the work most of the time. And going through transitions and hurdles and challenges and beautiful moments, as I've gotten older, I've shied away from sharing all of those on here. So why am I sitting here making this video today? One, I think it's a very therapeutic thing for me to do and to share with you, the audience, what we have both been going through over the last couple of years, the highs and lows of our life, and also a way for me to express how I want to try to shape this channel moving forward, shape the work that I'm creating and the stories that I want to continue to tell. This channel may not be called Leave the Map. You may be seeing more of my face and our journey together. We share our life in every aspect of it, but this is the one part where I feel like I have the ownership over talking to you, talking to myself most of the time, but creating my voice on here. So this video is a way for me to express some of the lessons that I've learned over the past 2.5 years while I haven't really been picking up my camera as much. I think lesson number one is life trumps work all the time. They are so intertwined in our everyday existence, with our phones being attached to our bodies at all times, the comparison game of, if I'm not sharing anything on here, am I going to be forgotten? Is my work not as good as somebody else's work? I have to always be creating. And that mindset for me has definitely hindered making something, but in the last 8 months, I have started to quiet that part of my brain and realize that I am more interested in showing up when I have something to say and when I have content and story and videos that I'm proud to share. Lesson number two, what is my voice? What am I trying to say? We all, as creators, have a unique perspective on life and the way that we perceive the world. And rather than overthinking it all the time, I just want to be mindful and intentional about what stories I'm sharing in my own experience and my own voice. I've been doing this a long time, not necessarily on YouTube, but I've been working as a professional creator, filmmaker, photographer with cameras since I was in high school. I know what I need to do to create something that I feel proud of. And oftentimes that just requires leaving a project and coming back to it, sometimes weeks, sometimes months later. Lesson number three, make mistakes. I am terrified of making a mistake when I'm creating something. I'm terrified of making a mistake in my own life, especially now as a parent. I want to try to rewire my thinking in that way and make more mistakes. I want to put more work out that gives me pause and makes me think, okay, great. You uploaded that, it was received in a certain way, and there are a lot of things that I can work on each and every time. That is the only way we as artists and creators develop our craft and get better, by making those mistakes, by failing time and time again, and picking ourselves back up when we eventually do. And the last lesson is my life is interesting. What I'm doing is interesting, even if it is not dune bashing in Abu Dhabi or hiking through ice caves in Iceland, exploring, the fields of Highland cows in Scotland. These are all amazing entries in a journal and memories to look back on, but every day has something special in it, and there's magic in every single moment. And I'm actively searching for ways to harness that magic every day and use it as inspiration here to develop stories, content, inspiring messages. But I find that I have so much to give and offer and say, and I want to learn with you. I want to learn in the process of sitting down to a camera, bringing that camera to more places than I have in the past, and overcoming that comparison funnel that we're all in every single day by putting ourselves in the rat race of social media. Ultimately, we are all trying to tell our story. We are all trying to inspire ourselves and others. I don't know what the future of Leave the Map and this channel holds, but what I do know is that I am going to be actively working on bettering myself as a creator, as an artist every single day, bettering myself as a human every day, and doing the absolute best I can to show up on here and provide you value or some entertainment along the way. Yeah, until next time, I'll see you in here. Maybe I'll see you on the road.